Hi guys, welcome to my Smartboard lesson. I've made it around the Renaissance and the Reformation. So first, what I started off with the lesson objectives. This lesson is catered to be as a review for the unit, which covers, as you can see with my objectives, going over applying that cause and effect of the medieval ages into the things that happen within the Renaissance period. So what we're doing is we're looking through some of that controversy and we're going to address it with a moving debate, but also being able to identify the key figures and the key events. And also scientific discoveries that happen through that Renaissance. So what I did in my teacher's notes is kind of I put that prior knowledge in there as well, and you can kind of see the cross curriculum link with the science and religion. And also in my notes, I kind of outline a little bit more in detail in terms of what each slide entails, some of the questions to engage participation and to differentiate a little bit. So in regards to the second slide, what I did is I created just a timeline to review the material that we've gone over in the chapter and in the unit and the previous one, and just kind of give a reference of this 500-year time span in regards to like what happened. So in doing so, I created a PowerPoint and inserted it into my Smartboard, discussing and reviewing the information. So what we did is we discussed feudalism, exactly kind of like what is feudalism, the structure of the system of government, but also society issues, the pros and cons of this, and why it eventually did wither away. We also discussed the Crusades itself, beginning in 1095, the views and the reasoning behind the Crusades, but also its effects um, into the Renaissance period. We discussed the Roman Catholic Church and its decline. You can kind of see its decline and the indulgences, and we do further discuss through the Reformation how Martin Luther and other activists decide to put a stop to this or make their point heard in doing so. In the seventh slide, we talk about the fall of Constantinople, which kind of marks the end of the Roman Empire in the Eastern Front, and what we do is just kind of review in terms of like where it is geographically in the Middle East. I do have a video clip here too as well that I do show the students for them to kind of get an idea of the significance of it again. So this is all mostly review, and also the Black Death. So the effect of the Black Death on Europe in terms of its population, its death toll, and its outlook on religion and God and the purpose of it happening. So a lot of times we can kind of relate to it with the Ebola virus, that outbreak that happened this past summer. So I make a connection with them there. Um, in regards to trade routes and commerce, we review the beginning of capitalism in terms of the Silk Road and other trade routes that made the world smaller, and by doing so, we see an increase in cultural diffusion across the board with our students. So again, this is a lot of engagement and participation that I ask the students to do so. So what then I didn't do is I divide the class into two, and what we do is we have certain activities that will be part of a team. So it's review and an activity. So for this one, we did a matching one, and hopefully they were all paying attention. And essentially, what they'll do is each team will send up a representative, and each team will give it a crack at this, just trying to match the picture with the vocabulary word that's stated there. And it's actually the same pictures that I use on the PowerPoint slides. So again, making sure that they're paying attention. And if whatever team gets each one right, they get a point for it. So again, as we continue to review, it's good to see that they are engaged and involved. So the next activity that we do is we do a moving debate. Um, what we'll do is I'll have a whole class together, and I will on the screen put up a question. Based on those questions, the student will move to the right of the classroom or designated area if they agree, another designated area if they don't if they disagree, and then in the middle will be kind of a neutral. So the great thing about the moving debate is it really allows us to get into the controversy, the nuts and bolts of this time period, and why it has been so significant as we look back in history. And what I really wanted to do is have students kind of apply the content that they've learned into the moving debate, which should be interesting. Right, so I just kind of wanted to go through some of the questions. We definitely bring up the question in regards to indulgences and simonies in regards to the Catholic Church. I think it is important to discuss the religious undertone of the controversy because even till this day, we do have a lot of controversy that surrounds religion. So, in terms of bringing it in terms of current event, I kind of will give students the flexibility to do so. We talk about the printing press. It's been covered in class significantly, and in terms of scientific invention, it's important to bring it about and kind of see how students realize um, the importance of it or not. But it also helps me assess whether they understand it or not. Um, so that's a good thing to formally, excuse me, summatively assess. Again, another religion question in terms of Martin Luther's actions of nailing the 25 Theses on the church door. It also talks about in regards to publicity and getting the attention of a public. So we see those issues relevant to today, especially with social media and technology. Um, we again, another current event that we've discussed is the exploration of North America. Columbus Day happened a couple months ago, and it always brings controversy in regards to the exploration um, of North America or even Southern America. Another question in regards to religion. We talk about feudalism, and again, be able to assess: do they understand the emergence of capitalism? Do they understand the importance of power struggles and social stratification? When that changed, when that did change we discussed that in class. When that changed, how did it change about society? Again, seeing how they understand that. Um, the reason I have Italy as being kind of the last question because it kind of leads into the next activity, which I have. It's called. Let me scroll down a little bit. It is the pin the tail on the boot. So essentially, the way it is outlined is the teacher will have a list of description or a description of the city states in Italy. I did differentiate it as well, and I have two versions set up, one for the accelerated class and one for um, the regular class, and it's up to the teacher to really to kind of see what would be best. But here in this um, map, you actually do see the cities that are located on the map. In the previous slide, you do not. Um, I feel like I want to be able to challenge the students for them to kind of know where these places are. This will be based on the activity that we've done in the unit. So for example, the teacher, let's go back to the first slide. The teacher will say, okay, this city was known for trade of the Silk Road.
Alert from System UI server. Low battery.
Sorry about that. So based on these descriptions here, the student will select one member of their team and will pin or circle the area of the map that they feel like that is it. And we'll keep track and we'll keep score. Based on that, we'll get a winner. And I think it's important to know the geography for them, but it's also to know why the geography is important and the significance of Italy throughout the Renaissance. All right. And the last one just kind of reviews the Renaissance inventions and then the Renaissance through fake Renaissance inventions in there with the vortex. So what they'll do is they'll select an option and they will throw it in the vortex. And if it's an invention, it will kind of swallow it up. If it's not, it will spit it back out. All right. So I feel like this is a good review for the students. We'll be able to kind of understand and identify certain aspects, but also be able to get an idea of the higher level thinking of Bloom's, the controversy, the religious undertones, the scientific and historical significance of this time period. All right, thank you very much, guys, and have a good day.